Welcome to Portlaoise, and the man on the far left there, that's Sean O'Kane, and what a difference he has made since coming in as manager of Tyrone. They played the first three games of this year under a different manager. Then Sean has come in. The last three games, they've beaten Clare 317 to 115. They've beaten Down in the Ulster final 215 to 110, and last week they beat Sligo 412 to 112. And that's after Tyrone had been well beaten by Armagh, drawn with Monaghan, and they were beaten by Cavan. So he's made a big difference. The man from Glenelly St Joseph's, back managing now in Tyrone in his home county after he travelled around a little bit. He was involved with Donegal and in the Carryduff Club, and he was involved in colleges as well with Jordanstown and a few other places, but he's certainly been a good fit back with Tyrone. And the Glenelly connection is there because there's a few Glenelly girls in there. One, for example, in the sub, Siobhan Sheeran. He's got her in there, and she's a fantastic talent. Saw her play a few years ago for her club. And there's also Lucy, or rather, who's the other Glenelly? Oh yeah, Maura Kirk is in there as well, and Aoife McConnell. So a Glenelly connection in the subs. We'll see if they get on today. That's the Laois side of things there, and you see the number 4 there. That is the captain coming back from the referee with the notes, and that's Amy Kelly. She's from St Conlas, and she was captain in the Leinster campaign. We saw her here playing against Wexford, and she is the captain today as well. And there's one change just in front of her, the only change in the starting team for Laois, and that is Anna Moore coming in at left half back, wearing 21, but replacing the number 7 Joyce Dunn. So that means that the Moore sisters are in here in O'Moore Park in Portlaoise, and to give it the proper name, MW Higher O'Moore Park. So the two Moore sisters playing on the team from the St Bridget's Club. Anna has come in, she's the older of the two sisters. Out in the middle of the pitch there we have the officials and the referee, very well known one in ladies Gaelic football, Jonathan Murphy from down the road in Carlow. And see the referees, and he's got a good touch there as well inside of the boot there, lovely pass. And he is in charge and enjoying the day, and very well respected, and one of the top referees in the country in charge of this game. And we're looking for an entertaining game as well in the TG4 Intermediate Championship Group D. Both are already through to the quarterfinals, but today we'll decide who plays who in the quarterfinals. The winners and losers in the group, which will be either of these teams. Both of these teams will go forward to play somebody from Group A, and that could be Wexford, it could be Wicklow, it could be Offaly. So, what is she trying to do? Oh, it's tape around the boots. Tape around the boots. Might need a new pair of boots, or is that the style these days? Is that what they do, or is there couldn't be a rip in the boots, surely? It's like the old styles, and I used to read comics about Billy's boots, and his boots were terrible, but they had to keep wearing the same boots because there was magic in them. They made him play better. Maybe it'll make her play better. That is the 21, that's Anna Moore, and that's the girl we were telling you about who is the only change. Johnny Murphy out in the middle has been joined by the rest of the officials for a photograph. They're all out there getting their picture taken, and lots of people arriving in the ground now, as you can see, for this game. Big interest in Laois, playing of course in the county stadium here as well, and we saw them here just recently playing Wexford. What a game that was. Laois fantastic going forward. We're 11 points up, but lost after extra time to Wexford, so a bit of a blow there, but gives you an indication of the talent that is in this Laois team, particularly in their forward line. So let's have a look at the team. Let's have a look at Laois. I've already told you the one change, but let's have a look who is out there. So Anna Moore in at 21, but that forward line, I mean, Sarah Ann Fitzgerald, she comes out for the throw-in, and then she'll revert to full forward, we would imagine. But the pace and the finishing there, Rowan Fitzpatrick, Mo Nearney, she was the only Laois player I think on the team of the leagues this year. Eva Galvin, lots of pace there, and Anna Healy coming forward. And watch for Ellen Healy coming forward from centre half back. She did that very effectively against Wexford, scored a terrific goal as well. So she likes to join the attack. But when they flow going forward, they are very impressive. In fact, they've had 7 games this year, Laois, and they've scored 17 goals. The problem is they've conceded 25 goals. So that shows you where the issue is. But Tyrone, a lot more organised under Sean O'Kane that way, and they concede a lot less. So will it be Laois unstoppable going forward, or will it be Tyrone very tight at the back? That is really the story today. Let's look at the Tyrone team then. They are getting ready for the game. Over to my left, and Laois are in a huddle, but they are not in a huddle just yet. They're still doing some kicking practice, but as I say, they know exactly what they're doing. Very organised under Sean O'Kane. Sinead McVeigh in goals. She's made a big difference as she's come in, and I believe that she's actually back playing county football after a gap of, will you hear it, 12 years. She has played for the Ardbow Club, now plays for Moortown, but an absence of 12 years from county football, but she's made a big difference, and she's a reason why Tyrone have only conceded 1 goal per game in the last 3 games, and she is at the back there, and she's made a big difference. In front of her, you have Emma Mulgrew at cornerback, Ciara Monroe from the county champions Carrickmore, and lots of pace again along the half back line. And then looking further up the pitch, talking about pace, you have Niamh Hughes in there, you have Dervla Gallagher on the 2 wings, and they both scored a goal against Sligo last week. That tells you something as well. But the player to watch out for, Chloe McCaffrey at number 14. What a player. Against Sligo last week, Tyrone scored 4 goals. She scored 2 of them and made the other 2. And she's been around a few years. In fact, she played in the 2018 All-Ireland final when Tyrone beat Meath, the Meath team that is now all conquering, but back then she played in a winning team there for Tyrone. Terrific player, watch out for her. I hear she's carrying a bit of a niggle, but she's fit enough to be in there. We'll see if she lasts the game. So the manager, Sean O'Kane, leaves the players to it. They are now in their huddle, and he certainly got them playing as a unit a little bit more over the last 3 games. Only 3 goals conceded in those games, and there's lots of talent in Tyrone, we know about that. It's a matter of getting the best out of them, and he's certainly brought something to them that has improved them. So, what will we see from Tyrone today? That's the question. Lovely pitch here, as usual. Looks perfect. Green all over it. Hardly any little brown bits. 1 or 2 in the goal area, but apart from that, so we're looking forward to a terrific game here. Everyone now more or less in place, and the referee Jonathan Murphy gets us underway. Falls kindly for Tyrone from the throw, and Fitzgerald was indeed out there, but it's Tyrone who have it through Emma Brennan going forward. This is Jean Moore for Laois, and already it seems a good fast open game, and Laois moving the ball quickly. That's Fitzpatrick now getting it inside and on the run. This is Healy. They like to move it quickly, and this is great play. This is Emma Lawler. Forced to come back out though. Tyrone have set up their structure in there. Lots of players back. Just looking around the pitch to see, they've left 3 players up, but the rest all behind the ball, as is the norm these days. And there's the interception. Now they'll try and break. It'll take a bit of effort on this big pitch here. And now number 6 is Helena McCarroll. And here she goes, wearing the distinctive Tyrone red headband. Fitzgerald doing well to put that out of play and to stop her. In fact, it was Lawler, was it, going back, I think? Yeah, it was Lawler. Fitzgerald was 14 the last day. It's Lawler's 14 this week for Laois. Now Tyrone again with McCarroll. Little 1-2 with Niamh Hughes, and off the shoulder, that's good running by Aoibhinn McHugh from Ahiyarn. Off she goes, being chased by Healy, but leaves it off inside, and that's a lovely move, nearly in the net as well. Looked like it was going to drop in, but goes over the bar, and it's a point for Tyrone from Emma Brennan. Lovely move, and if you look for a sign early on of Tyrone's improvement, there it is. Goalkeeper Emer Barry trying to find somewhere to go with it, and the referee holding things up a little bit. And I wonder what that's about. Is it because he doesn't want players going too close or something? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, keeper gets a moment to compose herself, and she does that and picks out her midfielder Jane Moore very well and sets Laois on the attack. Falls kindly for Moore, the other Moore, and she leaves it in. This is Fitzgerald. Support off the shoulder from Fitzpatrick. On her right foot, gets a kick away under pressure. It's high and it's dropping over the bar. Great response from Laois. And that was all about the kick out at the start of that move. Got them on the move, and although they were under pressure from Tyrone, they got a nice score in. And this is shaping up already to be a very interesting contest. In fact, you would think that these two are among the main contenders for the Intermediate Championship this year. So these two could meet later on, which means that today is an interesting battle. Elsewhere, by the way, in the Intermediate Championship, there's another 7 intermediate and junior games, and one of them is already at half time. That's because Fermanagh started against London an hour earlier, and it's 6 points each there in Brewster Park. Great game, very close. You can watch all of the games on the Ladies Gaelic Football in-player service. Ellen Healy from Portlaoise got a goal against Wexford. This is Jane Moore, Tyrone's Emma Brennan from Trillick nipping in at the right moment, and they will try to counter now, but Laois already getting lots of players behind the ball. Niamh Hughes now will set off on a run. Actually, she leaves it in quickly and it just evades Sasha Byrne, and Amy Potts will sweep up. She's from the St Bridget's club, same club as the Moore sisters. And this is Healy, Ellen Healy, no relation of Anna Healy at number 8. Number 4 is the captain, Amy Kelly, but that's the second time I think the ball has gone out over the sideline on the far side in the last few minutes under no pressure. Perhaps the wind is a factor there. It's quite strong. I was down there early on, and it's going across the pitch, so it would be going to the far side. In other words, it might have carried one or two of those balls over the sideline. At least looking to counter, and you see number 13 there challenging for Tyrone. That's Emma Hegarty, the captain, and she is obviously playing in a withdrawn role, not playing in the corner as her number would suggest. Niamh Hughes under pressure and gets her free. Dervla Gallagher for Tyrone. Scored a goal last week against Sligo. Amy Kelly, Laois captain, gets her free. Shifra Havel from St Conlas. Her sister is in the subs. That's Alana Fitzgerald. She seems to be at the centre of most things for Laois. It's good work by Moore. Fitzgerald again on her right foot. Measures that one. Oh no, my goodness, I think that's dropped into the net. It has. The keeper has misjudged that one, and it's a goal for Laois. Applause from the crowd, and you have to feel sympathy for the goalkeeper as well. She's done so well since she's come in and come back to county football, but that one just dropped. And again, probably the wind factor, that wind going across the pitch, probably held that ball up, and it just dropped into the net unexpectedly for the keeper there, to be fair. Now that kick out has been brilliantly caught by Aaron Fitzpatrick. Fitzgerald there now, she, as I say, is causing a lot of damage and now trying to take her own score, and she puts it over, and her tail is definitely up. Great response from the home team, 1-2 to a point after Tyrone got the first score. Goal a little bit fortunate, but they've certainly been playing well the last few minutes, and they did this against Wexford as well. Laois very good in the first half in the Leinster Championship here, scored 4 goals in the first half. Now that's the second kick out that has gone straight to Fitzpatrick. Tyrone repel at this time though. Niamh Hughes, that's an excellent kick pass looking for Brennan, and Brennan gets it. She's got support there if she needs, but the kick pass goes on all the way up to Sasha Byrne. She looks for help and gets it from McCaffrey, and she shoots quickly, a little bit too rushed though, and doesn't get it. And you see her, she's trying to stretch out her foot. She's got a little bit of a niggle there, I think, and she's just not flowing yet. And again, maybe the wind carried that a little bit, to be fair to her. But interesting that Tyrone put together a couple of kick passes there to move the ball as quickly as he can, and that's certainly the way that you can hurt teams, but a little bit of composure required as well. Jane Moore, Laois rampant at the minute, attacking like they did against Wexford. That's lovely forward play, lovely switch of play, and Mo Nerney with the kick at the end of it, and goes wide at the end. She's unlucky there, but lovely transfer there, and they knit together so well. Now against Wexford, their 4 goals were all really well worked. Their goal today wasn't well worked and wasn't a one-on-one. It was a fortunate one, probably wind assisted as well. So a different thing that way. They haven't got through for a goal chance yet. Hegarty knocks it down. Finds Hughes. Finds Brennan, and that seems to be a link that's working a lot. Brennan looking to put it inside towards McCaffrey or Byrne. Byrne comes out and claims it. She looks like she's being held, but keeps going and persists and trying to go through 3 or 4 jerseys. Doesn't get there though. And the referee says there was no foul committed there, so we go on. Amy Potts though overturned by McCaffrey, and McCaffrey sees number 6 Healy landing on her, and that was sore. But she got her free for her team and did really well there to defend from the front. And I think the referee's ticking as well. I wonder which of the players got the tick. It might be, well, it could be Healy. So 8 minutes gone. 1-2 to a point. Very interesting, lively start here in Portlaoise. And it was Sarah Ann Fitzgerald with the goal. Elsewhere, Roscommon have a goal against Longford. Jenny Higgins has Roscommon in charge in that game. All of the games available to watch on the Ladies Gaelic Football in Players Service. Now McCaffrey right-footed this time, and that goes wide as well. That's a wide on that side of her right and left. Fantastic player, but not finding her range yet today. Excellent kick out to Rachel Williams. She's another player with a sister in the subs. Her sister Rebecca Williams wearing 26. This is Fitzpatrick speeding off again. They really are impressive when they go forward, and she turns and twists, runs into a Tyrone wall, so comes back out. Fitzgerald gives it back to Anna Healy. Keep the ball is the shout from the sideline. And eventually the kick comes in, and that's beautifully measured by Emma Lawler from the St Paul's Club. She judged it perfectly. Straight as a die over the bar, never mind the wind. And that's a good score. 1-3 to a point, and they are really good at taking their scores, Laois, and knitting together in the forwards as well. And Tyrone just stood off them a little bit there. Probably didn't think that she would pick off a point from there, but she sure did. Oh, that's brilliant from Sarah Ann Fitzgerald. So good in the air, came out and claimed that one, and now they're benefiting. A little bit of space now for Fitzgerald again, and she's put that one to the right, and she's put it wide, even though that was probably an easier one. They worked it well to the player in a bit of space. Now McVeigh, where's she going to go with this? She just pops that one over to the left to Kiva McGee from the Moy, but again the ball's gone over the sideline. There seems to be a lot of that happening in this game today, but misjudgments by players. Anna Moore comes forward at pace, leaves it in to Lawler. Fitzgerald involved in just about everything. Now, Tyrone have 2 or 3 players in around the house there, but they need to stop the points coming in as well, and they're not doing that. That's another point, and it's a brilliantly executed point by the girl from Timahoe, Mo Nerney. Excellent score for her. She just missed a few minutes ago, but that one was definitely on target, and Laois are 1-3 to a point, and they are moving very, very well. Lots of confidence and lots of enterprise and creativity and imagination out there as well when they go forward. So Tyrone struggling a little bit to get into this game, not moving as nicely as Laois. Even McHugh looks for a bit of movement. McCaffrey provides that. She's been closely marked. Laois will have seen the damage that she did last week. Aisling Donaher going after her. Doesn't get there though. 2 or 3 other players getting in her way, and eventually it's going to be a free out to Laois. McCaffrey going through all on her own, and I think the referee is maybe ticking her as well for that challenge. So not happening yet for McCaffrey or for Tyrone today. There's a bit of excitement and anticipation amongst the crowd here in Portlaoise when Laois go forward, because they know they're very impressive. But that time it is the Laois attacker who is penalised, and it's a free out for Tyrone. Gallagher makes herself available. She needs to take this one quickly. Crowd getting agitated. Goes very short, but gets away with it. Gives it to Hughes, and off Hughes goes. My goodness, she's fast. And she's creative as well, but had to put that into the middle, and it wasn't read by Gallagher. And it's Laois again. Amy Kelly leaves it off to Ellen Healy. Havel dropping deep, giving it into Emma Lawler. Emma will look for Mo Nerney. They all play with their head up, looking around to see where they can go, moving it around confidently. Nice transfer again, this time to Tyrone Fitzpatrick, and she tries one from a difficult angle. Doesn't matter if it's a difficult angle to the girl from Park Rataniska, and it's 13 and a half minutes gone on. It's 140 a point. The home team on top. Now the press is on from Laois, so the keeper has to go long, goes towards McHugh, and she was outnumbered in the end there. Laois have turned it over. They've done that from quite a few Tyrone kickouts, keeping the pressure on all of the time. And Tyrone need to get their hands on the ball, but that's easier said than done at the minute against this Laois team. Good movement again and good passing, and this is Jane Moore, and she's left it off to Fitzpatrick. She got one a moment ago, leaves it off though. This is going to be Nerney again, fancying it. Oh, and I think that just hit the top of the post and goes to the right and wide. She's unlucky. That could have been 3 points in a couple of minutes for Mo. Instead, it's 1-4 to a point at the quarter mark in the first half. Or rather, halfway in the first half. Quarter point in the game. Good work by McCaffrey getting back there. All the way from full forward, getting back to help out and give it to Jane Lyons. This is McCarroll to Brennan. Brennan started the game very brightly, and that's a good ball into space. That's exactly what they need. Into Sasha Byrne. She turns nicely. So they need possession. They've got possession and there's support here, but she runs into traffic, gets a free in the end. But you see the difference in the two attacks there, because Laois have been spreading the play and almost anybody's can score, but Tyrone seem to be playing it head down a little bit there like that. Now she's got a free out of it in the end, but McCaffrey went through a minute ago, same thing. They need to transfer the ball, you would imagine, a little bit quicker, and that's exactly what they did against Sligo last week. So they need to get back to a little bit of that and play off the shoulder, but maybe that's a credit to the Laois defence. Elsewhere, Wicklow have scored 2 goals against Offaly. Offaly have got 1 back, so it's Wicklow 2 goals, Offaly 1-1. So a lively start to that game as well. 3 goals, and one of the teams from that game will play one of the teams from this game in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate quarter finals, depending on who wins here and who wins there. But those two in that group, Offaly and Wicklow, probably vying for the second spot in that group. So one of them will come through and will play probably the losers from this game. McCaffrey composes herself. Should get this one. Fires it powerfully over the bar, and that is Tyrone's second score of the game. And I think it's her first, isn't it? She scored 1-4 against Clare, scored 2 goals against Sligo last week and made 2, and it's her first point today. Good kick out again, finding Rachel Williams. That's the second time Emer Barry has found her, and it's so important because it now sends Laois off into the attack with good possession and room there. But you see the referee being consistent. That's the 3rd time he has penalised that particular infringement. Just checking the weather above the stadium here, and the wind's still pretty strong, going I think across the pitch, and it looks almost like there's a little bit of rain down to the left, but if it is, it's only a drizzle. Aisling Donoghue, the number 3, and they work it again so well, Laois. This is Anna Healy, giving it quickly all of the time, but maybe a little bit too quickly there, and McCarroll benefits and transfers it really quickly as well out to Emma Jane Gervin. She got a goal against Sligo, and lots of space there. Now Hughes is over to help. This is better from Tyrone, and she will look to come inside and gives it in indeed to Byrne. Byrne has 4 or 5 Laois defenders around her, gets her kick away and puts it wide, but I did say maybe it was the Laois defending. It was definitely Laois defending in that case. Look how quickly they got back there. And really, really good defending. And maybe they have upped their game since losing to Wexford. defensively. 1-4 to 2 points. Now that kick out has gone straight to Dervla Gallagher of Tyrone. Van Trillick scored a goal against Sligo. Fast player. She's showing that pace again, looking to come inside to Byrne, and Byrne gives it to Emma Brennan, and Brennan surely will get a point, and she does indeed, and it's that easy. They get it from the kick out, work it inside and get their score, and that's better from Tyrone. And it was the two Trillick girls involved, Dervla Gallagher and Emma Brennan. Oh, Brennan nearly nipped in and stole that one. That could have been interesting. As it is, it's a 4-point game, and it's Laois crossing halfway on the attack. Ellen Healy giving it forward. Eva Galvin from St Conleth's, and the runner again, Fitzpatrick this time, and this is Jane Moore. That's really well worked, and they're through, and this could be a goal. Oh my goodness, good effort from Galvin, who started or was involved earlier in the move, but a save by the goalkeeper, and a brilliant save it was too by Sinead McVeigh. Let's see it again, exactly what happened there. They got through, left-footed shot from Galvin, keeper just got a paw to it there and pawed it away and did enough to keep it out, and that was really the first goal chance that Laois have had. They got a goal, but it was an effort at a point that dropped in, but that's the first time they've got through. So the game opening up a little bit. Fitzpatrick, great effort from distance, but going to the right and wide, and they've misjudged that particular angled effort a few times. Coming up to the 20-minute mark, 1-4 to 3. 4-point lead for Laois. McVeigh forced to go long again, but she puts it straight down the throat for Laois, and Moore says thank you, and off they go again. Sarah Ann Fitzgerald involved in everything. Galvin's in there, but she comes inside to Lawler. Lawler leaves it off, and that's Nairney, and she swung her boot at it there, and she's claiming that there was a touch there, and I think it is indeed going to be a 45. No, it's not, it's a wide. Laois racking up the wides. They've certainly had a lot more attacking play and chances. 4 points clear, but could have been more. Oh, brilliantly taken there by Selena McCarroll from the St McCartans club, and transfers it quickly. Tyrone liking to do that, and it could pay off. They're 2-on-1 here. Surely it'll be a goal for Tyrone. It is. Niamh Hughes puts it in an empty net. They couldn't miss in the end, and there you see the benefit of the quick transfer. Brilliantly taken in the middle of the field by McCarroll. What a piece of fielding there. And then the transfer into the forwards caught Laois out. Tyrone right back in it, 1-4 to 1-3. You don't often see a goal like that in ladies football, and I did say Laois had tightened up a lot at the back, but they were definitely caught out there. This is Fitzpatrick dropping short. Keeper read it well that time and gives it out to McGee from the Moy, which is right on the Armagh border. I guess that's what you call direct play. Right from the goalkeeper, that goal. Straight down the middle. Brilliant catch by McCarroll. Transferred into the full forward area. Back of the net. Emma Brennan now for Tyrone. And she puts another direct ball in there. Looking for Byrne. Shows brilliantly. Wins it. Leaves it off. Oh, this is super from Tyrone. Really good play. Really direct play. Really efficient. And that could drop in. Well, it drops in over the bar for a second. I thought it might drop under. Aoibhinn McHugh with the score, and Tyrone are level. So that goal chance at the other end could have put 7 in it. Keeper McVeigh saved it, and instead there's now nothing in it. Moore to Moore, the two sisters from the St Bridget's Club involved there. This is Fitzgerald. Linking the play as usual. Gives it to Ellen Healy, and she's fouled. Elsewhere, I can tell you it's Wexford 3-6, Leitrim 1-8. What a game they have there, but they have 44 minutes played. Katrina Murray with her second goal looks to have put that one to bed. Looks like Wexford are going to win that one. That would mean Wexford will win Group A, and the importance for us here in Portlaoise is that they will then play the loser from this game. So Wexford will play the loser from this game, and imagine if that's Laois again. That will be a repeat of the Leinster Championship thriller in the semi-finals here, which went to extra time, and Laois lost an 11-point lead and eventually lost the game, but they could get a chance for revenge against Wexford the way things might shape up. But that would mean Laois losing here, and Mo Nerney has just put Laois back in front, so they have no intention of losing here, of course. Now McVeigh has, as I say, been forced to go long. High press from Laois, and she has to go long again, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time McHugh is right in there, and she's fouled by Moore, gets advantage, and direct play again from Tyrone, but it's well watched this time, and the referee has spotted something and has given a free up the field. And I'm just watching off camera to see where it is, and yeah, he's given a free right out. I take it he's given a free for Tyrone, and he let McHugh have advantage, and now has brought it back because advantage did not accrue. Now McHugh. Good refereeing as we expect from Jonathan Murphy. Leaves it off to McCarroll. She's playing really well. Leaves it into Brennan. There's a goal chance on again. Lovely effort. Is it going to drop in? It does. Emma Brennan. Super goal for Tyrone. And they have really hit back in style here. They could have been 7 points down, but instead they are ahead now by 2. Contrast in the way the two teams are playing here, because Laois trying to work it in all the time with nice creative play, and Tyrone just putting direct ball in there, and it's paid off in the last 5 minutes. This is Mo Nerney out in front, and immediately looks to play it in, and does so, and plays it in really well. And that's what you want as a forward, a ball bouncing in front of you. Tyrone have filtered a lot of players back though. They seem to have got the hang of this game and this Laois team, although Laois are trying to do something about that, and that's super play there by Jane Moore. Just as I was saying that Tyrone have got the hang of them, well, Jane Moore proved absolutely different there. She came through and looked to be going on her left side, but just poked it over beautifully off the right boot. 10 plays 9. Really good game. Now that one's going to drop for Jane Moore, and she's involved again, and that's a smashing catch by her there under the dropping ball, and leaves it off to her sister, and this is Anna Healy. Fitzgerald leaves it off to Fitzpatrick, and her shot is going to possibly level it. Nope, goes to the right and goes wide. Lots of attacking endeavour from Laois, but not so much end product. Tyrone have been much more efficient in their score taking. The goal, of course, 2 goals making a big difference. McHugh battling for it in the middle of the field. Breaks kindly for Anna Healy. Good response from Laois. Jane Moore involved once again, and going right through the middle. Laois trying to go through the wall of white jerseys. They don't manage it on this occasion, and that's a free out. Wicklow have another goal in their game, 3-3 to 1-1, so it looks like Wicklow could finish second in their group, and that would mean that Wicklow would play the winners of this game today. So could be Tyrone against Wicklow, could be Laois against Wicklow in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. And in the Junior Championship, Fermanagh have beaten London. It was level at half-time, but in the second half Fermanagh pulled away to win by 2-15 to 2-7 in that game. 28th minute of the first half. McCaffrey goes one way, then the other. She's lots of support if she needs it, especially on that far side, but they come to this side and put it into Sasha Byrne, and she's been excellent at winning ball in there. Really lively, and leaves it off to her club teammate from the Ahiarn club. I mentioned the Tyrone club, Moy, almost in Armagh. Well, at the other end of the county, Ahiarn is almost in Donegal. Tyrone Fitzpatrick speeds off again, and she leaves Emma Hegarty behind her. Great speed, great play, and this now is Eva Galvin. Laois so impressive when they attack. Good defending at the end to keep them out there by the number 2 Kira Munro from Carrickmore, but there was an infringement just before that. And this game following quite a similar pattern to the game we saw Laois play here before. So good going forward, so impressive, so creative, but leaking goals at the back. Emma Lawler levels it. 1-7 plays 2-4. Coming up to half time. Now McVeigh, the goalkeeper, has had to go long almost every time, and she does it again. But you have McHugh in there, and she's under it. Does brilliantly to catch it and leaves it off to Gallagher. Very old style traditional football from Tyrone, but it is certainly effective. Now McCaffrey takes it on and is fouled. Clearly Laois have watched the Sligo game and have seen that McCaffrey scored 2 goals and made 2, and a lot of her running was so important, and they've given her, shall we say, special attention. But Aisling Donaher, the number 3, has also received a tick for that challenge, and McCaffrey's going to take the free, but there's a little bit of concern about her fitness. She's going to go on here. She's a trooper, but she is certainly feeling the challenges today, shall we say. She's just outside the D here. One of the most underrated players in ladies Gaelic football. Won an All-Ireland against Meath in 2018 with Tyrone. And puts the ball over the bar to give Tyrone the lead as we go into added time at the end of the first half. McCaffrey from the St McCartans club. Amy Kelly for Laois. It's Rachel Williams involved there. They work it so well through the hands there, and they all know where they are, and they manage to get the ball out of defence, Laois. They're such an attractive team to watch. And that's excellent play. Look at the running off the ball there, and that's fabulous transfer as well, and they all know where each other is, and that could have been one of the goals of the season. All the way from the back. It ends up going over the bar, could have easily gone under, but it does mean it's a level game. So added time at the end of the first half. The keeper says, where's the movement? She has to just pump it down the middle again. And Laois might have won it. No, McCarroll nips in and gets it. Gallagher looking to go forward, but has to go back. Jane Lyons also has to go back. McCaffrey in her own half. Fouled again. Ahead of her, Brennan is trying to lose her marker, but instead Tyrone go sideways. McCaffrey always looking to make something happen. She's got 3 or 4 Tyrone players behind her and has to go back to them eventually. This is Emma Hegarty from the Donegal club. Speeds forward. Oh, lovely little show. Little dummy. And that's a nice pass over the top as well, looking for Brennan. Brennan has it, comes back out to Hegarty, and another little dummy from her. She's giving all the tricks today, or is it just the same trick again? Whatever it is, it works. Hegarty, by the way, on the panel since 2011, so 11 years. Came in after watching Tyrone play in the All-Ireland Senior Final against Dublin in 2010. Let's come back to Reagan Fay, the number 5, and Tyrone having to recycle. And they haven't time to get a shot away. Good defending from Laois, and a good first half, a very, very entertaining first half interesting clash between two teams that we could well see shaping up against each other later in the summer in the All-Ireland series. They're both going to qualify for the quarterfinals, and the way they're playing today, you wouldn't bet against them getting all the way to Croke Park. There's the manager, Sean O'Kane of Tyrone, and I'd say he'd be relatively happy, certainly with the scoreline. After Laois dominated the early exchanges, his team hit back with 2 goals, and that is why it is level at half-time, 2-5 to 1-8. He'll not be completely satisfied, I would imagine, because they had a few difficulties at the back, but they did concede a freak goal, and they have played quite well going forward, but they just haven't quite gone forward enough. At half-time here in Portlaoise, in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship, it is 1-8 for Laois, 2-5 for Tyrone. We'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes with the second half. The sun is out in Portlaoise. It's a lot brighter than it was in the first half, although we had some very sunshiny football. Excellent first half. And it's level scores. Grabbed a word with the referee, Johnny Murphy, there as he was coming back out, and he said it's a decent game of ball. Can't argue with that. Not that I'd ever argue with a referee. Put the Tyrone first goal up on social media there if you want to have a look back at it. Goal for Niamh Hughes. Johnny Murphy gets us underway for the second half, and of course Fitzgerald is in there for the throw-in, as she always does, coming out from full forward, and she wins it and sends Laois off into the attack. And this is Anna Moore. Gives it to her sister Jane. Now Lawler leaves it off. Just excellent start to the second half. And is it over? It is. All started with Fitzgerald, and that shows the benefit of putting someone out who can win the throw up, and she won it, and Eva Galvin profited at the end of it. Good start to the second half for Laois, puts them on the front foot. Kick out again, forced to go high, and it's brilliantly won by Anna Moore. The Moore sisters in O'Moore Park having a big impact on this. That's well intercepted though. That was well done by the Tyrone cornerback Ciara Munro from Carrickmore. Good start to the second half, and a similar fashion to the first as well. One team attacks and then the other. Good defending, good forward play. This is Niamh Hughes, got the first goal. Speeds off again, and Amy Potts trying to keep up with her, but she comes inside and leaves it off, and there's a goal chance on here, and it is surely a goal, and it is, and it was all about the build-up, but it was brilliantly finished as well by Saoirse Byrne. She is from Aheyarn. She was unlucky in the Ulster final. She nearly got a goal. It hit the bar, came down, and then they got a goal from it, but this time it's definitely her goal. Brilliantly made by Niamh Hughes and brilliantly finished. 3 goals for Tyrone. There's a bit of a hold up here as one of the players is looking a little bit of treatment, or the referee rather is insisting that she gets a bit of treatment, and it is I think it's the Moore sisters, is it, involved out there? And I think it's Anna maybe who's taken some sort of a knock, and her sister Jane is there with her. So Tyrone, 3 goals today, and I make it now that in their last 3.5 games, or just over, they have now scored 12 goals. They scored 4 against Sligo last week, 2 against Down, 3 against Clare, 3 more today. And in all of those games, they've conceded just 1 goal. Big difference. Sean O'Kane has come in as manager, so he has to get the credit. 3-6 plays 1-8. Laois got a point at the start of the second half, and they're so good going forward, yet they find themselves behind. Now they're trying to respond with a goal of their own. Oh, that's brilliantly finished. It's Shifra Havel from St Conleth's, brilliantly made, and this is an excellent game of football, and you can't help but get the feeling that these two could meet later on, maybe even in Croke Park, and it would be quite a game, because this is a smashing game as well. And that's the first time in 4 games that Tyrone have conceded more than 1 goal. This is Dervla Gallagher. Gives it to Emma Brennan. Oh, and that's an excellent pass, and there's a one-on-one here with the goalkeeper. If she can win it, and she does, oh my goodness, the captain for Laois really needed to win that ball, and she stayed strong. There was 3 Tyrone players. The goalkeeper was out, but Amy Kelly came to the rescue. 34th minute of the game, and in the second half we've already had 2 more goals. Eva Galvin. Laois finding a little bit more room than they did in the first half, but that kick is going to go way over to the right, and it's going to go wide. That was a little bit of a waste. She had probably more time than she realised. First substitution of the game, and it is Joyce Dunn, named at number 7. Didn't start the game, and I fancy she's coming in for the girl who replaced her from the start, who got a bit of a knock there, is it? I think it is indeed the 21, and that is Anna Moore, so she is coming off. There's the goal again. Lovely finish. Well, you nearly saw the finish there, but you saw it earlier, and you saw the build up there, but it was finished nicely to the net. And McVeigh, I've said it so many times, her kick out has gone right up the middle and it's gone high, and then they all battled for it, and Tyrone have won it. It was Gallagher in the right place, and this is McHugh spreading the play. It's well watched by Amy Potts, but Niamh Hughes tormented Potts for the goal, and she's tormenting Laois again, and she's put it into Brennan, but it's intercepted by the girl who's just come in. Joyce Dunn done a good job there. That's twice Laois have defended well in the last couple of minutes, and although that is encouraging for them, you feel that, well, on the law of averages, one of those is going to get through and Tyrone are going to get another goal. Is it Tyrone going forward? Is it Laois defending? I don't know, but certainly there's lots of goals in this game, and that's why we love ladies Gaelic football. Great enterprise, great forward play, and that's a fantastic effort. Has it dropped in? Oh, she's so unlucky there, that effort from Aaron Fitzpatrick. It looked like it might just drift in, but you have to applaud the intention. Can't believe I've only been playing 5 minutes of the second half and so much has happened. As I say, that's why you love ladies Gaelic football. McVeigh, don't think she's gone short once, but that is probably the highest one so far, and it just sort of skied up into the air and dropped into the arms of Fitzgerald. Laois now with Lawler. One team attacks, then the other, and she found a lot of room there and said, okay, I'll just take my score. Point for Laois. It's as easy as that. Tyrone 3-6, that's 15. Lawler 2-8, that's 14. 1 point game again. And you don't see anyone going short for Tyrone. Maybe it's just a tactic, or maybe Laois's press makes it impossible to see one player going short, but Laois are going to profit again, and indeed Anna Healy steps forward and says thank you. That's 2 they've won very easily in a row, and that means they have another chance, and they might equalise here. They might even do better, but that one drops short. Haggerty. Brave play from the girl from Donaghmore. Referee gives her advantage and gives Tyrone the advantage because they're on the attack. Hughes, what a game she is having in the second half. They can't catch her. She's storming through, and in the end, the referee, what's he given? I think it's a free in he's given. At Hughes' pace and direct play created the goal and has probably got them a point here as well. She really is a live wire. Scored 1-5 against Clare and a goal against Sligo and a goal earlier in this game and created one. You see the Laois sideline there, the manager Donny Brennan. A little bit concerned, I would imagine, about the way that Laois are still leaking goals, even though they've been pressing forward so impressively, and a lot of defensive play has been good as well, but they just let in too many goals. McCaffrey for Tyrone, 3-7, plays 2-9. 2 point lead for Tyrone. Good kick out. And it means that Joyce Dunn has room in front of her to move into. She does that. leaves it off. Laois on the run again, on the attack again, and that's brilliant direct running, and it's still Fitzpatrick, and it's all Fitzpatrick. What a finish! Brilliant goal by Laois. These two teams are really going at it. We've had 3 goals in 8 minutes of the second half. We've had 6 goals in all, but that possibly the best of the lot. Tyrone Fitzpatrick, dynamic, determined and deadly. 3-9 plays 3-7. You certainly always get entertainment when you go to watch Laois, and Tyrone will not be happy about that. Their manager won't be happy because he's been in for 3 games. They've conceded 1 goal in each of those 3 games. And in this game, they've conceded more than 1. They've conceded 3. And it's not over yet. But what are you supposed to do about an effort like that? Brilliant play. Now it's up to Tyrone to see what they can do to hit back. Just to put it into context for you, the other games today in Group A will determine who Tyrone and Laois play. They're both through to the quarterfinals. I'll explain that again in a minute. But now with the play, it's Tyrone trying to hit back, and that's McCaffrey leaving it into Hughes. Strong challenge going in. Referee says it's okay. Hughes is in a heap on the ground there. That was a tough one. You felt that from here. You felt the ground shake. She's up on her feet, thank goodness. But it looked for all the world like Tyrone were going to get through again, but they didn't. Credit to the Laois defence, standing firm there. Elsewhere, it's Longford 3-6, Roscommon 1-9. So Longford leading Roscommon by a goal. Sarah Shannon and Michelle Farrell for Longford have turned that game around for them. That's an interesting one. Wexford have won their game. They've beaten Leitrim. I'll explain that significance in a second as the ball goes over the sideline, and it's a Tyrone ball. Yeah, the significance is Wexford then win Group A. That means they play the losers from here. Mind you, it might end up in a draw, but basically this team who finishes second, which is probably the losers from this game. So Wexford will play Laois, which will be a repeat of the Leinster semi-final when Wexford came back from 11 points down to win after extra time, or it could be Wexford against Tyrone, as it would be the way things stand. Wicklow and Offaly playing for second spot in Group A, and they will play the other team from here. Carlow leading Derry. Carlow backing up last week's impressive performance. Laois on the attack again, looking for another goal. This is Mo Nerney on her left foot, and she swivels on a sixpence and puts it over somehow with the economy of effort and lots of guile and experience. That's a super point by Nerney. Tyrone making a change. 19 for Tyrone is in the play. That's Joanne Barrett from the Drumragh Sarsfields club, and she replaces Regan Fay from the Moy. So Tyrone making one change, and Laois have made one change. Jane Moore for Laois. Emma Brennan gets back and gets a hand to it, but Laois retained possession with Lawler. She has help here from Galvin. They lead by 3. Dunn gives it back to Moore, and Fitzpatrick's through again. Surely not another goal. The challenge comes in, and Tyrone have managed to avert that little bit of danger, or at least goal danger and point danger. It goes wide, and Laois looking very dangerous again going forward, but it's a wide, and Tyrone survive. 3 points in it, but serious pressure being applied for Laois. So Carlow beating Derry today. Lots of interesting games today, and they're all available on the Ladies Gaelic Football in-player service. Laois coming again. They really are on fire at the minute. Nerney comes out in front, leaves it off to Galvin, and Laois are in behind again. And it is Havel. Oh, and the door was closed, but they try again. Lots of Tyrone players there trying to crowd her out, and eventually it's going to be a hot ball, but now it's Tyrone hanging on. Really is an open, eventful and interesting game. McHugh comes back for the hot ball with Fitzgerald. That's going to be an interesting one, and the Tyrone girl wins it, and it's picked up by Emma Jane Gervin, and she now has the ball. Tyrone looking to attack. They're both very dangerous when they go forward, but not when they pass like that. Laois on the counter. Lawler shaped to shoot, but instead leaves it for Fitzpatrick, who got the goal, but that one's going to drift to the left and wide. Little bit of respite. She's not pleased with herself, but her team leads 3-10 to 3-7. Only 13 minutes gone for the second half, and it's been eventful. McVeigh for once goes short, and it works because she gives it to Kiva McGee. She found a little pocket of room there, and now it's the substitute Barrett who's come in, and she leaves it off under a lot of pressure. Tyrone trying to get out, but a brilliant press from Laois keeping them in there. They're having to work sideways. They can't get out. This is Jane Lyons trying to get out. She gives it to Kira Monroe. They eventually get to halfway. And now they look for Sasha Burns. She shows well, as she did in the first half. She's been a brilliant target in there for Tyrone, and she's bustling forward, and that's going to be a free out. That was one heck of a collision there. I felt that one from here, and they're both feeling it. And it's a free out for Portlaoise, or for Laois rather, in Portlaoise. Sean O'Kane and the Tyrone management keeping an eye on proceedings there, and they're just not sure what way this one's going to go. It's been a real roller coaster, a real seesaw, one team and then the other in front. At the minute it's Laois who are looking dangerous. They're the team 3 points up, and Tyrone chasing the game a little bit, and chasing Jane Moore. Nairney now shapes to shoot on her left, but thinks better off it. Comes back out to Healy. They're just popping it around now. Laois, they're in control, they're in the lead, and they have the ball, and there's no real urgency required. So they work the ball instead, and they work it well. That is Fitzgerald to Lawler, and the shot comes in. Oh, off the post. Might end up in a goal. Oh, it's blocked in the end, and Tyrone really are hanging on. It was great work by Monroe there to get the block in, to be alert. And this is the other corner back, that's Emma Mulgrew. And Tyrone just trying to get back into this game, and this is Hughes, who has been at the centre of most of their good things. Good running now by McCarroll. She's ditched the red headband in the second half, not required. Brennan goes forward for the red hand county, and Laois have definitely upped their game in the second half. Come back to Hughes, and there's running in the middle, through the middle, and that is Haggerty. Haggerty again. She does a lot of selfless play, leaves it off to McHugh. Haggerty is hurt, but the shot comes in and goes to the left and goes wide. And Haggerty is going to require a little bit of treatment, and the game is going to get a little bit of needed respite, because we have gone past the 3-quarter mark. Just it's 3-10 to 3-7, and both managers, I see, looking around to see what changes we can make, what can we do to change things, because it's been hectic. Elsewhere, Louth and Clare. Louth have a goal after just 3 minutes. Aoife Halligan got the goal for them, and we did the Louth game last week, and what a goal there was right at the end. The two Halligan sisters involved for Louth. They have a goal against Clare. Both teams through to the quarterfinals there already, of course. A very fast-paced game here in Portlaoise. Very entertaining. We hope you're enjoying it. And there's the subs warming up, and Laois will be considering surely bringing one or two of them on to just keep them in front and keep the momentum going. But it's Tyrone making the substitution right now, and 23 is Gráinne Rafferty from Killeshall, experienced county player, scored a penalty against Clare, and maybe they're hoping she'll come on and add a little bit more experience in there and help them get back into this game. And maybe she's going to replace Haggerty, actually, who seems to be struggling there. Warm-up continues for the subs, but no sign of one of them taking the bib off just yet. So Tyrone have Gráinne Rafferty in the play. Trying to see who's going off for you, actually. I thought it might be Haggerty, but she's still out there. It would take more than a knock like that to keep her out of the play, but Tyrone definitely have someone in there. I just can't figure out who's gone off, but give me a minute. Laois on the attack again. Rachel Williams. Nairney on her left foot. That's such a dangerous and accurate left foot, but it's just gone off the post. And how many have Laois hit today that have hit the post or just gone wide? Very impressive going forward, but only the 3 points clear. So for Tyrone, McHugh is out there, Hughes is out there, Byrne is out there, number 15. Brennan is out there, and Emma Haggerty is still out there. This is McCarroll. 3 Laois players around her, and they rob the ball off her, and Nairney slips it to Fitzgerald, to Lawler. Ambitious effort, but under pressure from Kiva McGee, and it goes wide. I think it's Chloe McCaffrey who has gone off for Tyrone, and she was carrying a bit of a niggle into this game, and she looked to be struggling a little bit, but still was impressive, but has gone off. Free for Tyrone, Niamh Hughes. Laois already getting players back. Rachel Williams has gone back there, as has Galvin dropping in there, as has Ellen Healy. Haggerty for Tyrone. This is Hughes again. Drawing frees all of the time. We hit the 50-minute mark. Emma Jane Gervin comes over to take the free. Game has just dropped a little bit in intensity, which you can't be too surprised by. Tyrone still looking to win it though, and rolling on the subs, and number 28 looks like she's going to come in for them, and that will be Michaela Moore from Errigal Kieran. Laois looking to counter. Eva Galvin to Fitzpatrick. Nice interplay again. Tyrone waiting for them coming forward, and Jane Moore comes forward, leaves it off, but great interception. That's much better at the back from Tyrone, and they look to counter right away. Emma Brennan is there. She kicks to this side, and that's really well taken as well by the centre half forward, Emma Jane Gervin. She comes inside. A lot of Emmas around there. Emma Brennan beside her, and she may now get the ball, and indeed she does. This is the substitute who's come in. That's Gráinne Rafferty, and this is Hughes again. Get your shot away, but under a lot of pressure it drops kindly into the goalkeeper's arms, and Laois survive, and that's a wasted effort in the end for Tyrone, and they put in a great effort to get up the pitch, and it was good work at the back. I think it was the fullback Kiva McGee who made the initial interception, but a lot of endeavour there to get up the pitch, and no reward at the end of it for Tyrone. Remains a 3-point game, and Laois in control at the moment. Good ball into the full forward line, and it's found Havel. Leads it off to Lawler. Nice turn onto her left. Has she got her range? Oh, that's brilliant. And that's the advantage of being two-footed. 2 subs coming into the play now, 1 for each team. And Emma Haggerty is now leaving the field to be replaced by Michaela Moore from Errigal Kieran. 19 for Laois is in, and that's Clodagh Dunn. And Clodagh replaces Amy Potts. And Amy had a good game, but Niamh Hughes caused her a few problems, certainly for Tyrone's goal in the second half, but she did very well apart from that. And who on earth can keep up with Niamh Hughes anyway when she's in full flight? 27 for Tyrone is also coming in, and that is Lucy McAlary from the Moy. She got the goal in the Ulster final late on that sealed the win against Down. I think they would have won anyway, but she got a goal right at the end. It came off the crossbar from Byrne's effort, and she finished it to the net. She gets a chance again in the last 7 or 8 minutes of this game. But Tyrone need a little bit better than that. That ball went right over the sideline. They're just struggling in the last 5 or 6 minutes to get a foothold in this game. The Laois defence has tightened up a lot, and they've kept the ball up the other end a lot. Now Hughes has a chance. Gives it to Brennan. Good running off the ball by Tyrone, and this is where it counts, and this is where it's tricky. This is the other Emma. Well, they've about 4 Emmas out there. No, they've 3 now because Haggerty's gone off. Emma Jane Girvan leaves it off to the substitute. Now it's Rafferty. Chance comes in the end from Byrne. It's going to drop short though and go to the left and wide. I think she was probably playing into the wind there, and maybe that's what dropped it, or she didn't connect properly, or both of those factors. So 54 minutes gone. 3:11 plays 3-7. 4-point lead for Laois. At the minute, the way things are, Tyrone will be playing Wexford in the All-Ireland quarterfinals, and Laois will be playing either Wicklow or Offaly. I would fancy it will be Wicklow at the minute. I'll confirm that, of course, for you. That's not confirmed just yet, but Wicklow were beating Offaly. And now Laois playing keep ball. Tyrone have dropped very deep, but it means that Laois do not have to force the game, and they're just passing it around and eating up time, and Tyrone are going to have to do something a bit more than just sitting in there. They're the team losing by 4. I have to say there's no immediate urgency I can see either from the team or the sideline though. And yes, just to confirm, Wicklow are indeed leading against Offaly. The latest is 4-6 to 1-9. So it looks like Wicklow going through there, and Wicklow will play Tyrone the way, or will play Laois the way things are going, and Tyrone will play Wexford. That's my thinking on it. Nairney gives it inside to Ellen Healy. Pressure from number 23 Rafferty, but she persists. Full forward is Lawler. Comes back to Nairney, and Laois just playing the possession game at the minute, and Tyrone can't get it off them, but they're not coming out and really forcing it either. Laois just running down the clock. 56 minutes gone. 3:11 to 3-7, and now Ellen Healy comes forward with a bit more attacking intent. She's faced up by McCarroll and has to come back, but they're perfectly happy to do so, Laois. I wonder at what point will the call come from the sideline to come all the way out Tyrone. You see the captain, Niamh O'Neill, who's not playing today, named in the subs, but doesn't look like she's any intention of playing, but she's come down to the sideline and she's talking to the management team down there. So she's been rested today. Laois have really killed off this game. Joyce done with it. 1 or 2 Tyrone players coming out, but as I say, they're not coming out en masse to try and desperately win the ball. Maybe they'd be happy enough to play Wexford, but Laois going in search maybe of another score here, and eventually after a long period of possession the shot comes in, but it goes to the left and goes wide, and Tyrone now will have a chance of a bit of possession. Now substitute for Tyrone. Will she be allowed to come on just yet? No, she'll have to wait a minute. We're back in play. Goalkeeper is available. Goalkeeper gets it. 28 is Moore. Tyrone trying to get their way up the field, but Laois have done very well at stopping them coming out of defence, stopping that running game as much as they possibly can, and that's an example there. Look at the pressure being exerted. The press is fantastic. Very impressive from Laois, defending from the front. But Joanne Barrett manages to find a way through and gives it to McCarroll. And McCarroll coming forward now, and that's an interesting ball into the middle. She was looking for Rafferty, but it was brilliantly intercepted there by Clodagh Dunn. And Laois really have Tyrone's number at the minute. And they're playing it through the middle. That ball filtered through to Fitzpatrick, Galvin, Nairney. These girls have had a lot of possession in this game. A lot of subs been lined up to come on. 24 and 20 for Laois. That's Aoife Curran and Alana Havel. So she'll be joining her sister Shifra on the team. This is Fitzpatrick. That's if we ever get a stoppage in play, because Laois are just playing keep ball, and they're doing it without any great pressure and without any great threat to losing the ball. We're now nearly in the 60th minute of the game, and Tyrone unable to get anywhere near Laois at the minute. Laois 3-11, Tyrone 3-7. The real fireworks were in the first 15 minutes of the second half, but now it's Laois, but now they've lost it, and McCarroll has stepped in there. Now look how many Laois jerseys are back there. Tyrone finally coming out, and they've won the ball. McHugh has it. Can they rescue this game at the end? Rafferty is speeding away over on the far side, but McCarroll wins it close in, and it's a free for Tyrone. Now we'll have a substitute down below us, and for Tyrone it's a debut for Niamh McElduff from Carrickmore, daughter of the politician, and she helped her club Carrickmore win the Tyrone Championship last year, and she comes in for Tyrone to make her first appearance for the county in the last few minutes of this game. Dervla Gallagher gets a well-earned rest, and two changes for Laois. Number 11 has come off, that is Shifra Havel, so her sister has gone on. So I said the two sisters might be on the field together, but nope, one has effectively replaced the other. We're into added time. Tyrone 4 points down. This kick is not going to help. Kick out is going to have to be repeated. Referee orders the ball back to the goalkeeper Emma Barry from the Shanahoe club. She goes short again, but is the ball going to go over the 21? It has to come over the 21. She can't take it there, and indeed the referee has blown. The ball has to come outside the 21, and it didn't. So it's a free in for Tyrone, and Gráinne Rafferty will take that. It's a big ask, but they need a point or a goal quickly. She puts it in there, and there's a touch from Byrne, comes off the post, tapped into the net by McHugh, but the referee says no, square ball. No goal. 3-11 to 3-7 it remains in the 62nd minute. Laois look like they're going to hold on. Referee says it's a free from a little bit further back. This game petering out, which is a little bit disappointing after the excellent first 45 minutes of it, but it's all about winning at this point for Laois, and they are winning. They're winning by 4. They've turned it around. It looks like they're going to finish top of Group D. Fitzgerald has been involved in so much good work all the way through this game, and again Laois just playing keep ball, and Tyrone sitting very deep. Only one player really coming out chasing the ball at the moment, and they're just waiting for Laois to come on, and Laois are in no particular hurry to come on to them. Oh, lovely little dummy inside there from Fitzgerald. And Laois will be quite happy just to keep possession, and if it doesn't work they'll just come all the way back out. They don't need a score, so they just keep possession. Nairney though might get a score, and she flashes that on her left boot. Brilliant finish again. What a player Mo Nairney is. A special player for Laois. Great corner forward, great score taker, and she always pops up with an important one, and that should just about seal the victory. 3-12 to 3-7 now in the 63rd minute, and Tyrone would now need 2 goals to try and rescue this. We can't see that happening, or we don't envisage it. I don't anyway. In fact, it's more likely Laois will score again. Oh, hold on. Tyrone have got it. nearly in the 64th minute. And that's Michael Duff running forward and linking up the play and looking for it again. This Grania Rafferty. Michael Duff says, I'm down in the corner, give it to me again. She gets it again. No, she doesn't. It's intercepted. Going to be a free for Tyrone, though. Referee ticks for the foul. Grania Rafferty indicates where it's going. Pumps it in there, but it's brilliantly taken. And the Laois defence has come in for a lot of criticism, shall we say, but they've stood up really well in the second half. McCarroll forced to just head a high and hope ball in there towards Brennan. Byrne is there as well, but Laois have defended in numbers there very successfully. Joyce Dunn now. She comes out of defence with the ball. Nearly in the 65th minute. And Laois pretty much home and dry. Nerney gets out in front under pressure, but still keeps possession. Leaves it off. And Laois just playing down time here. This is one of the subs who came in. This is Havel. Moore. What a game she's had. And eventually, in the 65th minute, the referee calls an end to an entertaining game in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship, which has ended in victory for Laois in Portlaoise, 3-12 to 3-7. The Tyrone manager, Sean O'Kane, has tasted defeat today, and he goes to the opposition to congratulate them. It's defeat for Sean for the first time in his 4 games in charge of Tyrone, but he'll not be too disappointed today. A good performance all round, and they do still go into the All-Ireland quarterfinals, where I make it they will play Wexford. Laois have won, and I think they will play Wicklow in the quarterfinals. Good performance by them at home. They tightened up in the second half. They got the goals as well. They deserved it in the end. Really good performance by Laois. It's their 8th game of the year, and it's their 5th victory, and they'll be very pleased by the way, in particular, they held out in the second half. And these two might meet again later in the summer, and I wouldn't mind seeing that, because it's been a great game here today, and I'm sure it will be when or if they meet again. That's it from our live stream coverage. We hope you have enjoyed it. Tyrone go into a huddle, and they will put this game behind them, and they have an All-Ireland quarter-final to look forward to. They will be back despite defeat today. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. As I say, from Portlaoise, it's goodbye.